Will, are you going to be making it home soon?
It should be another 10 minutes before I get home. Why are you asking?
I haven't quite finished making dinner yet, so when you get home, can you get in the shower first?
What? I don't want to get cleaned up before eating. I always eat the moment I get home from work, and then take time to relax in the shower. I tell you this all the time, right?
I'm sorry. I just ran a little late today and couldn't get around to starting dinner until now.
So you've just been messing around at home all day again? Ever since you've become pregnant, you've just been having the time of your life doing anything besides your responsibilities.
Today, I just happened to feel a little off, so I took a nap. I can't seem to get my body into good shape until the afternoon most days, so I don't get around to chores and cooking until then.
That again? Saying that you're not feeling well, or that moving around makes you want to collapse? You can't just sleep all day because of those little excuses. You really love making a fuss over nothing. Must be great being a wife, huh? Getting to rest all day due to just feeling a little queasy? To the rest of us working people, we don't have the ability to do such a thing, or we'd lose our only form of income.
The doctor told me that on days I'm not feeling alright to take time off and either lay down or go to sleep until I'm feeling alright. He said there's no need to force myself to do anything while pregnant.
Are you sure you're not just putting those words in that doctor's mouth? Right now, there are other women that are pregnant with their babies, but unlike you, they don't just sit around all day crying about feeling a little sick. And all my friends with loving pregnant wives still get lunches made for them by their wives, and get to come home to clean houses. When I look at the lunchbox you pack for me, it sure is full of pre-made crap. We are all in the same situation at home, yet they get to have a loving wife to care for them still.
Don't compare me to the wives of all your coworkers, please. Everyone experiences pregnancy differently, and in my case, the symptoms are just a tad bit worse.
You are all pregnant with babies, yet you think you get to lay around all day at home and put off your chores? That doesn't seem right to me. I'm going to start thinking that you're just being lazy. And let's be honest, you've always been a bit slower than these other women that my coworkers have. So start learning how to work, even if you feel a little off or don't have the drive to work.
Even though the doctor told me not to?
Doctors love telling people to take time off and all that crap. In reality, nobody takes off as much time as you have been, and they all get right back to work. You're supposed to get all your chores done in a timely manner. And if you have time between then and making me dinner, you can relax a little. But you seem to do the opposite, and relax all day first, and get to your chores and cooking far too late in the day.
I'm sorry, Will.
Stop trying to make this all seem alright for you when your husband is the one working hard every day at work and has to come home exhausted. I'm the only one out of the both of us that's actually tired right now and needs a break. Now please, start acting like a wife that I can brag about again to all of my coworkers, okay?
Hey, do you think you can get home from work a bit earlier today? Ever since this morning, my body has felt really off.
Off? What do you mean?
I don't feel right standing up, and I'm having cold sweats every couple of minutes. To be honest with you, I think something's really wrong. I'd like you to come home and take me to the hospital to get this checked out, please.
I'm going out for drinks tonight, so that's not happening. Take yourself to the hospital if you really need to go.
Again? Yesterday and the day before that, you went out for drinks all night.
Well, today I'm going out with a different group, so that's why.
Why are you going out every night like that lately, drinking a bunch out on the town? We're getting really close to having a baby, and you have to be back home to care for everyone.
What does you having a baby have to do with me going out for drinks?
When we have our baby, you're no longer going to be able to go out every night to drink and play around town. Are you sure you're going to be able to drop doing all of that the day the baby comes?
I don't plan on changing anything, even after the baby is born. Why are you saying a bunch of meaningless crap to me right now, Gwen?
Wait, but once I have the baby, we have to start raising it together, right?
Your job is raising the baby. Why do I have to be the one to give up my time to care for the baby you're carrying? I have no plans of changing the life I live right now, and that's final.
I'm sorry, Will, but nobody continues to live their life as though they are single after their wife has a baby. Everyone ends up having to put a bit more time into their family once a baby is a part of it, and you'll have to do the same.
No way. I think everyone in my shoes continues going out and having a good time. There is not a single man around me that does chores instead of his wife.
Well, what about Steve?
Steve? I don't know what he's up to, but I rarely talk to him anyway. Never really comes out drinking with us after work.
That must mean that Steve is back home with his wife helping out, right? That's probably the reason why he never goes out anymore with all of you to drink.
Well, because of that choice of his, he's no longer able to grow within the company.
Why not?
Going out to drink with your coworkers is just like doing your job at work, right? And since he doesn't have it in himself to come and join all of us, he's never going to get promoted, and will stay a base level employee forever. And can you stop comparing me to other men at my job?
Then what was that all about when you compared me to all your coworkers' wives?
And that was because there is something wrong with you making you think you can slack off. I'm working my job and doing everything that I'm supposed to do. I'm nothing like you.
Well, whatever. Can you please just come home for a little bit to take me to the hospital? I'd like some help with the chores and such as well. And honestly, I just like you home so that I don't feel like I'm all alone here.
You think me being by your side will make a difference? There's no way me being beside you will make you feel any better. I'm not some doctor or anything.
I'm not asking you to come home and fix me. I'm just talking about being here as company. What would happen if something were to happen to me and nobody was around? You wouldn't want something bad to happen to me or your baby, would you?
And here we go again with you over-exaggerating. You worry yourself too much. You told me before that all you had to do is take a nap until you feel better, right?
You have no idea if I'm all right or not when you're at work all day and then going out for drinks after, right? Since you're not a doctor or anything, are you not worried about your own wife and baby when I'm this late into my pregnancy?
Jeez, recently you've really been an annoying little brat. Why are you continuing to try and get me to come home to you?
Well, that's because you're never home anymore. Even on your days off, you go out with all your guys and don't stay home around me. Do you think that next weekend you can stay home with me and the baby?
Now that you mention it, next week I am taking the whole week off work. I had a lot of paid vacation piling up and had to use it somewhere.
So then, you're gonna be home all week, right? Will you be able to come along with me to the doctor's to check on the baby?
No. I already made plans for all next week. It's been a while since I had the week all to myself, so I thought I'd get out and stretch my wings a little.
You're going out again? How much longer are you going to act like you don't have a family at home to worry about?
I'm the one that gets to choose what kind of life I live. Now you stop talking back to me about it, you jobless loser. Now, I have a drinking party later, so I need to get back to work. Don't text me about anything that has nothing to do with me for the rest of the day, alright?
Please. Can you just let me back inside, Will?
No way. You sit outside and think about what you've done, you idiot.
But the rain is getting worse and worse out here. And it's freaking cold.
Is that so? Well, I hope that it becomes the perfect medicine for you.
Why are you doing this to me, Will? Kicking me out of the house like this, it's not right for a husband to do that to his pregnant wife. And I'm not speaking metaphorically either, you literally kicked me. It hurts still.
This is all because you don't do your work and you just sleep around all day. What is with that huge mountain of clothes in that nasty-looking kitchen?
I was waiting for you to come home late into the morning, and I started to feel worse and worse while waiting. I wanted to take some time to rest before getting to work on all the chores I still needed to do. You're the one that went out all day and night to play with your friends, so why are you getting this upset with me about those chores?
I came back home all happy and feeling good, and that feeling was ruined by you not getting any of the chores done. Seeing a house like this when I walk in makes me pissed. You have to have this place cleaned up before I get home. What kind of wife do you think you are, leaving the house a mess for your husband to come home to?
I'm sorry, Will. I'll make sure to get all of it taken care of as long as you let me back in.
Not letting you back in for now. All you continue to say are excuses, and I'm not having any of it. You're gonna stay outside for the day and think about what you've done.
But the rain is really bad right now. If I begin to freeze too much out here, it'll be really bad for our baby.
Well then, you'd better find somewhere dry to wait out this storm out there. Because you're not coming back in the house for the time being.
Where do you think I should go, though? I don't even have my wallet on me or anything, so I can't go to a hotel. And today is one of the worst days I've felt in a long time. So please let me back inside.
Go on about how you feel bad again. You're always going on about the same dang excuses whenever you don't want to do something. Well, I'm not going to go easy on you this time. I'm going to head to bed for a bit here now, and I don't want to see you inside this house. Stay out until I say you can come back. Will, you're at your house right now, correct? I'm home. What do you want from me, Steve? Hey, you get your butt to the office right now. If you're at your house, then you can get here in a little bit, right? What? I'm on my paid time off at the moment, so... Did you not even know that it was my time off right now? Ah, did you happen to mess something up at work and you need me to help you? Well, I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm not your daddy anymore, so get your own work done. Paid time off? Is that what's going on here? Well, listen, Will, after what you've done to your wife, you're in a tough spot. Huh? What's going on with my wife? She just came to the office a second ago asking to be let in. And she was drenched from head to toe and shivering. Huh? Why, wife? Are you sure about that one, Steve? I'm not joking. Why is she there? I hear that you went and kicked your wife out of the house, literally, and told her to stay out? She's pregnant, Will, and you're doing stuff like that to her? And let's be real here. Even if she wasn't pregnant, you can't kick someone like that. I never kicked her. You sure did kick her. There's a huge bruise on her, and it's not something you can get from a small fall. And she's been telling me you're the one that kicked her. What the hell does she think she's talking about at my work? She came here to talk with us about how bad of a husband you are, and what to do about you. And because of this, everyone here is speechless. And we're not shocked by her, but by what you've been doing to your pregnant wife. Why are you all so upset with me right now? You don't have to believe a word she's trying to say to you right now. Can you just kick her out of there and send her back to me? Ugh. I'm a bit disappointed in you right now, Will. I understand that you were the kind of guy to leave all this housework to your wife, but to think you're actually this awful of a husband? And what the hell do you know about me, Steve? You have no reason to think poorly of me, buddy. She's just making up a bunch of crap about me, because I didn't do a dang thing to her. But look, you go out drinking every night with the younger workers here. This whole time you've had me worried about whether your wife is okay or not because you're never home for her. Let me tell you right now that what you're doing is not right, Will. At this point in time, you seem to be doing nothing to help your wife out at home and with her baby. Dude, you haven't told any of the higher-ups yet, right? The CEO and such? You know that this is going to be brought up with them. This is a smaller company, and there aren't that many of us here. So when something like this happens, it's going to find its way up the ladder one way or the other. And our CEO is a very compassionate man, so I feel as though he's not going to like what he hears about this. And when he does make a decision on what to do, I think the chance of you ever getting promoted again will fade away forever. What? You go and stop my wife right now. If she keeps going on with all that strange talk, I'm going to be in hot water. I'm sorry, but I'm not stopping her. If you really need her to shut up, then get your butt in here and do it yourself. But that chick's not going to listen to a word I say to her. If she had just listened to everything I was telling her before, she'd have never gotten any of the company involved in our private affairs. So in other words, your wife doesn't trust you enough anymore to go and listen to what you keep saying to her anymore? Perhaps the whole reason she didn't want to listen and talk to you anymore is because you were the one stopping her from doing so? Why do you have to be involved in this? You and I have been working together for a long time now and have no reason to be butting heads here. Why are you willing to jump on my wife's bandwagon only after coming into the office and saying a few words? Right now your wife has a terrible fever, and her legs are shaking a whole lot, and we heard her just a few minutes ago vomiting in the toilet. She can't even get up to walk anymore, Will. Kicking your pregnant wife out of the house when she is looking like this is just unthinkable, man. Huh? She's really feeling that bad? She keeps telling us she's been feeling this bad for a long time now. Why have you not been caring for her at all? It's difficult to be pregnant with a baby. But look, Steve, you told me before that when your wife was pregnant, she really didn't have any issues like mine. So I just assumed that my wife was faking all those symptoms to get out of having to do any chores or cook for me. Jesus. You really are an idiot, Will. Huh? You have to understand that everyone reacts to pregnancy differently. It's the same thing as having a cold or getting food poisoning, right? Everyone develops different symptoms to them. My wife might have been able to handle her pregnancy pretty well, but that might have been due to me being there to help care for her. Now, for the time being, you get over here and apologize to her. No, I have to get back to work here. I heard about everything from Steve. What the hell did you think you were doing?
So you heard about that.
I heard about that? I sure as hell did. What the hell were you thinking going to my office where all my coworkers are?
Well, I didn't have anywhere else to go for cover at the time. Did you want me to go to the police station and have them get involved instead?
You'd think I'd want something like that? But the fact that you have this company all riled up now is just... Go do something about it.
I can't believe what I'm hearing from you. I had no other choice, Will. I was feeling awful, and still am, yet you kicked me out of the house and told me to stay away. And it was in the middle of a huge and freezing downpour. I asked myself why all of this was happening to me. I just walked and walked in the rain thinking about that until I looked up, and there was your office building not too far ahead. And I just thought that they'd be at least willing to help me there, so I walked in.
But I'm telling you that you've caused all kinds of problems now for your husband and the company he works for. This is a problem for you and I to handle, not all of my coworkers to listen about.
I had no other choice, Will. They were at least willing to listen to me about what happened, and they were the ones asking all the questions in the first place. And in the end, they all told me they really had you down wrong. So that's why I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one that thinks you're messed up. I'm sure that now you understand that what you did to me was really screwed up, and nobody does that to their wives, right?
All right. I get that what I did was wrong. So please, come back to me. Or at least leave my office, please. Then I'll make sure to go to everyone there later and apologize. I'm already on my way actually to explain all of this to them.
Nope. The CEO has already told me that you are no longer needed here for the time being. Also, pretty soon here, Steve is going to take me to the hospital in his car. There's no reason for you to come now.
What do you mean there's no need for me to be there for the time being?
They're saying that starting tomorrow, you no longer need to come into work. And if you do show up, they'll have you stopped and turned away. They've told me that they don't need someone in the office who acts like a complete lunatic.
Does this mean that I'm fired? You're joking about that one, right?
I think you're on the chopping block now. I'd start working on finding a new job here, Will.
You're lying, right? Something like this should never happen.
It really should not ever happen, right? I was thinking that the whole time I was walking in the rain. I'm not going to be coming back to that house anymore. I'm going to be divorcing you and then heading back to my hometown.
Divorce? Hold on a second.
Are you finally starting to understand how I feel now that I no longer want to be with you? You never gave a crap about what I was saying to you all this time. I'm glad to see that I was right about Steve and a lot of the other married men. You just seem to want any excuse to not help me in any way while I'm pregnant.
I'm sorry. I just thought you were over there exaggerating your symptoms or something. I really didn't see you as the type of woman that got sick that badly.
Why didn't you think I could get sick? I told you time and time again that I was feeling terrible, right? I was even going to the hospital for it, and yet you still think that I was just screwing around about it?
I listened to what Steve told me about his wife, and just assumed you'd be the same. It was a total misunderstanding. This is all Steve's fault.
Steve didn't do anything wrong. If anything, he's been really caring for me. He noticed immediately that I wasn't doing well and started to do all sorts of things to help me feel a little better. Compared to you, he's a wonderful man.
If I'd ever really known you weren't feeling well, I would have been a whole lot nicer to you. Hey, come on now, Gwen. Can you please go to the CEO and have him rethink firing me, please?
You keep telling me that it was some misunderstanding, but that seems like nothing more than an excuse from you. We all know that you only worry about yourself this whole time and never bothered to care for the woman you should have loved and her baby. Well, I no longer want to care about you, Will. If you don't want to be fired, then you have to have a word with your CEO yourself.
But he'll listen to what you say to him a lot more than he'll listen to me. Please, I'm asking you with all my strength.
No, thank you.
This is all going to affect my life here. There isn't a whole lot of other companies out there like the one I'm working for, and I don't want to lose the benefits I have there.
But you're not going to like it here anymore either, since all the employees hate you now, right? Do you really think that you'll be able to continue working in an environment like this?
I'd rather that than being fired right now. And can you please stop talking about wanting a divorce? I promise I'll never do anything like I did today to you again.
It's too late, Will. I have been bearing all this pain for a long while now, and I've had enough. I was so hopeful that you'd have a change of heart sometime then, but you never ever did. That day just never came. And when you kicked me out of the house yesterday, I gave up on you.
I'm sorry for actually kicking you then. It must have hurt, right?
It's way too late for an apology like that. And it wasn't my body that got hurt the worst by that, but my heart. I didn't come all the way to your office because I wanted to today. I was forced to by you because you had no care in the world for me and made this my only choice. You have to come here and apologize for all the troubles you caused today.
Can you come along with me then, and the two of us can apologize to them? We're a couple, right?
The only reason you're saying things like this now is because you want the CEO to think better of you again. You don't regret a thing about what you've been doing to me all this time, do you?
It's not like that, Gwen. I seriously see that I messed up this time. I promise that I'll change after I'm able to keep my job, okay? I'll do my very best to be the best husband I can be to a wonderful woman like you.
That's not possible anymore. I don't even want to think of you as my husband anymore. If you want to do your best, then go right ahead. But I don't want to see you ever again, and so I'm going to shut up and get the hell away from you. After that, Will ended up flying over to the office and got on both his hands and knees to apologize for what he'd done. But the CEO ignored him and told him that no matter how he tried to apologize, the outcome would be the same. And just like that, he was fired from his job there. I ended up telling both my in-laws about what had happened and that I'd be divorcing Will. And my mother-in-law told me that they were already yelling at him about what he'd done to me and that he'd be disowned by them. Will, now having lost both his parents and his job, was left with nothing else and was forced to pay me a settlement in a divorce. And after that, he was left with little drive to find any good work and ended up with a place that hired him but would not pay him very well. And now he wasn't only having to face paying off his student debt, but would now have to pay child support to me every month. And with both of those things stacked on top of the settlement, he was living a very tough life. But when you think about everything he'd done to me, this was the correct outcome for him. On the other hand of this, I went back to my parents' house and had my baby in my hometown. And after that, I ended up receiving a surprise gift from Steve congratulating me on giving birth. He told me in the letter that everyone in the office was happy to hear that I gave safe birth to a healthy baby and that they could all rest easy now. And in return for the gift, I let everyone there know how happy I was for what they'd done. Even they could see that a man like Will was an awful man and a waste, and they were willing to get him out of their lives as well. And what a great company they are for doing that. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.